I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by Spintwitches as soon as you can.
Okej, potem z portretem. Jak widzicie, jestem tutaj. Wróżę na chwilę do pokoju życzeń. Jakieś nam questy weszły. W komnacie pojawił się portret profesor. Pójdę tam i z nią porozmawiam. I także sięgnąć nieba mamy. Czyli nowy upgrade do miotły. Na przykład tak, zidentyfikować miałem do Hogsmeade i tak iść i tak. Miałem sobie zidentyfikować przedmioty. No nareszcie jakieś dobre okulary mam. Bo mi w tej masce się nie uśmiecha latać. O kurwa. No to dobra, i tak wypieprzę to i tak. No to sobie to ulepszę od razu. Coś tu jest lepszego, czy nie? Tu chyba też nie. Mam w ogóle drugi typ, a mogę trzeci już wjechać. Bo chyba składniki na trzeci mam, a teraz bym sobie wziął Kaliogo. Wie czego? Nie czuję tych zwierząt, powiem wam szczerze, latających. Smoczy długi płaszcz, a tu mam nadzieję, że nic się nie zmienia. Nie, więc dobra. To teraz idziemy tak na krosno, bo trochę zebrałem składników. Mam nadzieję, że się uda to ulepszyć. A rogu mi brakuje. To mam na pełni. To jest na nowy poziom, więc idzie na full. Przynajmniej ile się da. Pióro Feniksa. A jak żeby kurna inaczej. Zielarstwo. Mam trzecie zielarstwo, istnieje ogłuszenie, zadawane krucję, starożytna magia, odporność, igłę. Dupa, tu nie ma nic ciekawego. Ale tu zasadzka na drugim, to na pewno mam na trzecim. Czy na drugim mam zasadzkę na bank. Więc to byłoby żal nie używać. A, tego się nie da bardziej, tego też się nie da bardziej. A to bym zrobił, bo to jest... I tak to zaraz będę zakładał. Kurna, i też nie mogę. Sterowalność. Experio, to wolę. I dobra, reszta pójdzie w sela. No to tak, pierwszy primo. Idziemy do Hogsmeade. No, do naszego pana od miotełek. Hogwartu, Hogsmeade. Więc dobra. I tak miałem iść do niego albo gdzieś indziej, żeby sprzedać graty. No to kupimy od razu ulepszenie szczotki i zobaczymy sobie tą misję od Fitzgerald. Kurde, jak słyszę Fitzgerald, to mi się kojarzy, kurde, z Paradise PD. Nie wiem, czy to ma być jakieś małe nawiązanie, czy po prostu taki moje zboczenie, można tak to nazwać. Witam.
Wonderful to see you. As before, I've arranged a special price on the broom upgrade
Ulepszenie,
for
które
you.
zwiększa przyspieszenie i prędkość twojej miotły za
You'll be
4
thrilled
kaple.
with that broom, I promise you.
To jest te okulary? Tak, to są te okulary, których nie sprzedałaś. Resztę sprzedać mogę na spokojnie. Ciekawe ile uzbieram. Sklep sportowy. O, w ogóle tego szyldu nie widziałem. Po lewej stronie ekranu. Zwiększa wrażenie. No w sumie, z jednej strony to Petrificosteros by się nam przydało mocniejsze ewentualnie. Ale ja nie spotkałem takiego przeciwnika, którym sobie nie radzę.
Thanks for
Więc
stopping by.
okej.
Oh, you're all set with the new upgrade. I can't wait to hear what you think. This may sound presumptuous, but
You'd like me to report back with even more flight details.
you know me well. I feel I'm almost there. I just think I can improve broom flight a bit more. Miss Ray's is running a time trial at the South Coast course. Not ideal, really, what with rumours of Ranrock's lot and Ashwinders infiltrating the place. However, if you're flying high above them, you should be all right, I think.
I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to our next meeting.
No to wiecie co, zróbmy sięgnąć nieba i miejmy już z głowy te questy i potem czekajmy tylko na ulepszeń na full, a tak to bym miał ją... No chuj wie, ją strzelił, no. No żeby ją strzelił coś, kurde, szlak jasny. Ja rozumiem blisko, rozumiem daleko, ale to już jest drobna przesada. Dobrze, przy którym odcinku tam gdzieś widzieliśmy sobie, tak wbiliśmy na szybkości.
Not the best place for an unaccompanied student.
I tak zaraz się spierdalamy stąd i tak.
Let's finish this job.
Ja ale miejscówę wybrała. Powiem, że łohoho w cholerę
Rebellion.
zarąbistą. Nikczemny przeciwnik, tu jakaś coś. A co za stworki właściwie są? Co to jest? A, kotki. A ten kot jest w ciąży.
The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right.
Stoi twardo,
Hufflepuff,
kurde.
over here.
Ty, nie obrażaj mnie.
Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it?
Obviously. Evidently too far for most of our classmates. Pathetic. They should be begging me to keep these trials alive, not running scared. I'm surprised our new 5th year showed up. I suppose I appreciate the effort.
That's actually... thank you.
I know I can be impatient, but I get frustrated by those who don't take things as seriously as I do. And in my experience, that's everyone. Anyway, don't let it go to your head. Right then, enough chatter. I'm confident I've posted a time you won't be able to beat.
We'll soon see how I fare, won't we? I'm ready.
Get ready to lose, Hufflepuff.
I tak ja prześcignę, i tak prześcignę. Co prawda braknie sekundy czy dwóch, ale dobra. Bo już nauczyłem się gdzieś tam latać poza odcinkami.
Made it.
To nie jest ale takie ciężkie, jak się wydaje. Wystarczy w te bańki
Now
wlatywać
that's more like it.
i trzymać się na poziomie tych baniek. I w sumie tyle. Jak się uda w te bańki trafić, to już leci ładnie. Whee! Bo bańki nas fajnie przyspieszają, a my nie musimy się przyspieszać sami z siebie. Na razie tych balonów nie chcę zbierać, ponieważ pozbieram je przy innej okazji. Fucking shit. Za bardzo.
Brilliant flying. I do. Brilliant.
A przynajmniej taki plus tych wyścigów jest taki, że sobie odkrywa mapę. Więc nawet lepiej sobie te wyścigi zrobić wcześniej, a potem dopiero czyścić mapki. Ciup. Fuck. O, udało się.
That
Godzin...
wasn't too difficult.
Powinniśmy nam styknąć w czasie, jak widzę. O, w dupę! Za bardzo, żem se skręcił.
Oh!
Aha, czyli jak zahaczę o pędzelki, nie wiem co to było, to też to działa. Warto wiedzieć na przyszłość. O, w dupę. Żem powinał wszystkie punkty.
This is going well.
I tu też pominąłem wszystkie punkty. No, czekaj, może ze tryb wyłączyć, bo mam cały czas tryb włączony ten swobodnego lotu, a mi chodzi o ten szybki... Dobra. Zetnę trochę. Dobra, mówi się trudno.
Now that's more like it.
Dobra, przebijam, to prawda niedużą ilością czasu. Ale pobita.
This is rather fun.
I pięknie. 2:24. Tylko jestem jaki jest ogólny rekord.
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Ty!
I think I know how and where to approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
Ty ślady zostawiam, ale fajnie. Dobra. Co
That was
tam?
quite something.
Impressive work today, but don't get too comfortable. I'll be on your heels in no time. My family's not going to believe the news when I tell them. They're almost as competitive as I am. Almost.
I take it you want to play for a team, but which one? And which position?
I'm my father's girl. A chaser through and through. You'd know that if Black hadn't cancelled Quidditch this year. As for a team, it's the Holyhead Harpies I've always dreamt of. When I'm finished with school, I'll try out. If for some reason I don't get accepted, I don't know what I'll do. Herbology, perhaps? Because if that did happen, you might as well pop me and call me a mandrake. I'd never stop screaming.
Ja to mandragory lubię, co ty chcesz?
Will you keep running these courses?
I'll race them myself. Don't want to get rusty. But I won't be dealing with time trials. You're welcome to run them too. Anyway, hope we find time to fly again soon.
Do you get your competitiveness from your family?
You could say that. My grandfather played Quidditch for Puddlemere United. And my father, well, he was a chaser for Slytherin, but had to stop after a curse took his knees out. Said it was the Gryffindor beater. And me, I fell in love with flying the first time I saw the ground disappear beneath my feet. Something about the freedom you feel on a broom. I've not been able to stop since.
It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda.
It has been fun. Glad you're here. 5th year. Not bad. For a Hufflepuff.
Spierdalaj.
You take care of yourself.
A przy okazji, jaki to jest najlepszy wynik? Ty, ja jestem trzeci i tak na pałę.
I should let Mr. Week.
Dobra. Do plana Weaklessa wracamy. Co jest, kurna? A, tylko nie czyściłem. Z misji, tylko to. To tak. Tu. A, no ta podstawy szantażu, tam jest zakazany las. Jezu, za dużo tego się tu robi. Ja chciałem główną popchać jeszcze trochę. A nie poboczną się bawić. O, masz. Jeden poboczny, znaczy jeden główny, 5 pobocznych. Chociażbym chętnie wyczyścił sobie już ten cały region Hogwartu przed tym przesmykiem. Powiem.
How's my
Dobre.
favourite test flyer?
A, nie mam nic do powiedzenia, mo? Serio?
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
O, to się zwiesiło po prostu.
Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course.
Fantastic! Your broom performed well then?
The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential.
Of course! Should have anticipated that. Exactly the kind of report I've come to expect from you. At last, I think I know what needs to be done for my final upgrade.
What will you do after the final upgrade is complete?
I aim to make Spintwitches the most sought-after shop in Hogsmeade. And I wouldn't mind getting back on a broom myself, just for the thrill of it. Couldn't be more pleased we made headway with the upgrades, proved the naysayers wrong, made all the hard work worth it.
I shall look forward to speaking again.
I'll be sure to send you an hour when I'm finished. Thank you again for your help. Couldn't have done this without you.
No dobra.
I question anyone.
Pardon. O Jezu, Syria mi się odpaliła. To tak. Misje. Mamy 2 te relacji. Spotkaj się z Poppy. Opracuj z porozmawiaj z portretem dyrektorki. Znajdź położenie. Dobra, możemy... Znajdź położenie 3. próby obrońców. Czy tu przejść próbę, a potem powrót będzie. Tak jak było wcześniej chyba. Czekaj, gdzie są misje zakończone? Główne w cieniu krypty. Nie. W cieniu posiadłości. A, nie mogę zobaczyć jaki był ten przebieg. No tak. Więzień miłości. A, super, że tego nie jest po kolei, nie? Są po prostu alfabetycznie. Nie będzie tak, jak było wpływa Charlesa. Dobra, może zobaczymy sobie to tak. Koło Hogsmeade jesteśmy, to zobaczmy sobie to. Chciałem główną zrobić. No ale dobra, główną zrobimy sobie może w następnym odcinku, jakbyśmy się uparali w
Good
tym,
for Mr. Weeks.
tymi
Mr. Weeks
dwoma
and I do make a
questami,
good
jakby się
team.
udało. Jakby się udało. Jeśli się uda. Chyba, że będzie długa. 10-15 minut liczę i zakończymy odcinek.
Are
Siema.
you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully
Czyli
by the
wszystko
time you
się
return,
rozgrywa
I
w
will be able to
Hogsmeade.
move a bit more freely.
To jest misja, która się rozgrywa tylko w Hogsmeade i ona nam daje ostatniego nikczemnego przeciwnika w tej okolicy, czyli w Dolinie Hogsmeade. O tak. To warto ją ropnąć. Ty, w ogóle nie wiedziałem, że tu przed trzema miotłami są te choinki.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Wynajmuję prywatny pokój, tak by the way. A nie.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Pani Rabel, liczymy na to, że ponownie rozważy Pani naszą prośbę o pomoc w sprawie początkowych. Daliśmy pani dość czasu na podjęcie własnej decyzji, ale nasze podkłady cierpliwości zaczęły się wyczerpywać. Wiem, że pani Mons bardzo by to docenił, gdyby odczuła pani wartość współpracy z nami. Czy możemy spodziewać się odpowiedzi do końca roku? Najlepiej, gdyby sprawa została między nami. Zapewne pani rozumie, co mam na
Some evidence
myśli.
worth hanging on to.
Thank you.
To była gdzieś... A,
I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping, and I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
to jest najgorsze, że chciałem z nim pogadać w tym liściku jeszcze, ale mi się klikło z klikiem na coś innego i rozwaliłem gaczek.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow as he requested.
Unfortunately, I suspect you're right.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling. to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Ja nie idę od strony normalnej, bo ona na tym miała być w świńskim łbie. No to ja jestem tutaj. Ale super świński łeb, nie? Kobito, kobito. Mówiłaś, że świński łeb ma być, a nie kurde na moście. Teraz się modli, żeby doskoczyć. Dobrze, że nie ma tu żadnego systemu zimna, ciepła i tak dalej, bo bym chyba teraz zamarzł.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Kurwa, myślałem, że ja nie słucham. A nasza postać się właśnie mnie rozjebała.
Oh,
Myślałem, że ja nie słucham tego, co nawijają, ale widzę, że nasza postać nie słucha.
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Dobry, ja na zaplecze. Kontrola sanepidu.
Revelio.
Właśnie coś widziałem. Różdżka Nati.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Ty, ja widzę nawet tu kwiatki jakieś dziwne. Styl Geralda. Witam, witam, zapraszam.
students get what's coming to them.
Ty, kurwa! Nie pierdol.
Revelio.
Ciap,
Natty
ciap, ciap,
must have
ciap,
been
ciap.
taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Kryjówka popiołków. No i fajnie. O Jezu. Ale kryjówkę zajmiemy się w następnym odcinku, więc cześć czołem, nara i hej!